Also, the MCAs are have you been in charge of that? Because you mentioned defense as additional responsibility.
Well, that's a department which has been given a regular charge to me.
Sir, you take over at a time when growth is expected to be sub 5%. You said there will be expeditious decision making. What are the key areas where you look to concentrate? And as far as fiscal and current account deficit are concerned, what is going to be a key difference in strategy as compared to your predecessor?
Well, you'll have to wait for a few days before we spell out the entire policies of the new government.
So how about inflation? So because that has been the major cause of worry.
Obviously,
and
especially
the interest rates that they have been very high.
So the balancing act will have to be done.
Do you think there is
Also, on new questions on the taxation front, there is a lot of. Thank you, Mr. Thank you very much.
Okay, very important point coming out here from Arun Jaitley, who is being looked at as one of the big heavy hitters in the Modi Sarkar. He's been entrusted with the very important portfolios of finance, corporate affairs, as well as defense. He's just clarified that the defense portfolio is probably a transition until the next cabinet expansion. We have with us National Affairs editor Javed Ansari with us. Javed, Arun Jaitley clarifying there, saying that it's probably a transition until the next cabinet expansion. That provides a sense that, perhaps at this point of time, Narendra Modi couldn't find a person he could entrust the defense ministry to. Is that what the reading is?
Well, that's the one that comes immediately to mind. But then which is the jewel which is hidden and we don't know about? We'll have to wait and see. That there will be another cabinet expansion is on unexpected lines, because this is in many ways there are a lot of regional imbalances. Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, where they won 25 seats, they don't even have a representative in the cabinet. So those regional imbalances have to be taken care of. Some of these dual charge ministries to begin with is all fine, but once the reality of the enormity of the tasks, once they realize the enormity of the task at hand, I'm sure that Mr. Narendra Modi and his advisors will do a rethink, and they will have ministers, especially for something like defense, because defense is a 24/7 job. Who would know this better than you, Shivarur? You've covered that. You've been covering that ministry for the longest possible time, and you all have been critical of the Manmohan Singh government for appointing Mr. Antony, who didn't take decisions. Now you have a minister who has to do some heavy lifting, not just in the finance but also in defense. So perhaps this is not an arrangement that can work for a long time. This is a stopgap arrangement, and in due course, whenever the next cabinet expansion happens, they will come up with a suitable. They will come up with somebody who will take full-time charge of the ministry.
It's an important decision that's been taken. There had been speculation yesterday, Javed, about how Narendra Modi might have kept the portfolio with himself as well. And we had reported first how Arun Jaitley was being given this dual charge. It's also an extremely important ministry. It requires a great deal of attention, like you rightly pointed out. There has been a huge amount of criticism about the manner in which the MOD was run under, the last incumbent, A.K. Antony of the Congress party in the UPA, who was also considered to be a very senior minister close to that party's leadership. At this point of time, what kind of message does it actually send out? If at the very beginning, portfolio like defense has been left in a sort of transitory phase until the next cabinet expansion?
That's a very good question, and that it begs an answer from the BJP. Had this happened under the UPA government, the BJP would have gone to town saying, look, national security has been compromised. They can't even find somebody who will be a hands-on 24/7 minister in the Ministry of Defense. But this is the first day, and we shouldn't sound very critical. The honeymoon period is still on. But I'm sure that in due course they will apply their minds and come up with a full-fledged minister, because this is an arrangement this is at best a stopgap arrangement. Even I'm sure Mr. Narendra Modi and his political managers do not believe that this is something for here to stay. So they will come up with somebody. It would have been in the fitness of things if they had applied their minds and had a full-time defense minister. They had ample time. Everybody knew that they are going to form the next government. This exercise has been going on for a very, very long time. Unless, of course, behind the scenes there's been intense lobbying and there's been intense,
Yes.
jostling for jobs which Mr. Narendra Modi has not been able to reconcile. That appears to be the most plausible explanation.